this local government councillors and chairman, let's get clarity first, because we've heard whispers, and we need to be certain. Are they getting an extra 1-year extension? Let's start from there first, before we begin to talk about how far so far, how well they fared while in office.
I don't know where you're getting your information from.
Feeds.
I am a good governance advocate, and I have reviewed our constitution, and I have seen that section 7 sub 1 of our constitution 1999 guarantees the establishment of local government administration to be manned by democratically elected local government council officials. Their structure, the composition of the local government council, the finances, functions, and what have you, have to be made by the local government, by the state house of assembly of the respective state. Like in the case of Akwa Ibom, we have the Akwa Ibom local government administration law that was passed by the state and given assent to by the governor. And the tenure of the local government council officials, those who are elected in this case, are 3 years. And so on the 6th of December, we will be having election to elect new council officials that will be taken over from the outgoing officials. So I have not heard AKISEC, the body that is constitutionally empowered to conduct elections, that is Akwa Ibom Electoral Commission, AKISEC, has not come out to tell us that there will not be election. So, and that there will be, and the governor has not also tell us that he has not given funds or made available the funding that is needed by AKISEC to carry out its functions. And nobody has said anything to the effect that there will be extension of tenure. If there is any of such plan, I want to disabuse the minds of our listeners that such will be unconstitutional. Such will be an affront to our constitution, section 7 sub 1. You cannot appoint people to man offices that are elected offices. The house members are not appointed. The governor was not appointed. The president wasn't appointed, because their positions are enshrined in the Constitution of Nigeria, and that they shall be elected. So I cannot see, or I do not believe, or I do not seem to agree that there will be any of such arrangement to appoint people to take over offices that ought to be manned by people who are elected at the local government level.
Okay, so well, that's good to hear that even though there are whispers, those remain in the realms of whispers, and they're not confirmed, and of course remains as rumor. But let us talk about how they have fared while in office. What is the level of their impact with the time they spent in office? How many local government areas in the Akwa Ibom State can we say that this chairman and their councillors and their team have done well, have impacted on their community to the best of your knowledge?
Maybe I will be given an assessment based on the fact available to me as a journalist now, not as as a civil society person, as a journalist and as a good governance advocate. The local government system in Akwa Ibom, 31 of them are 31 poverty centers that we have. 31 poverty centers.
That is what you're terming them.
I have just told you that whatever I'm saying here is my own conclusion. I have done investigations. I have presented papers on the operations and functionalities of local government administration in Akwa Ibom and in Nigeria. The last was when the National Institute of Strategic Studies, NIPS, came on a study in Akwa Ibom. The team that came to Akwa Ibom, I was invited to present a paper to them, and it was in the office of the SSG. I presented a paper to the effect that the local government system in Nigeria, as good as non-existence. And I can tell you, Ike, that in the past 3 years, apart from maybe a few, you can even mention the name, 1 or 2, 3 local government areas that are actually performing. The rest are parasites. The rest are only just, depending on when the funds are given to them, they just take over, they just take off from the council and go and sleep in Abuja, or lodge, the council chairman lodge in Uyo or lodge in Lagos, and that's it. They only return back to the council when it is time to pay salaries. They only return there and pay salaries. Grass had taken over the premises. Lizard, termites have taken over their offices. I have done a tour of this on my own. I have led a team. We've gone around to check. Some of these council officials don't even report to work. They don't even go there. So when the governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Omoyeno, said sometime that the council chairman should relocate to the local government areas of their headquarters, I think it was welcomed with a mixed reaction. I came here to applaud the governor on one hand, and on the other hand, I now said you are putting the council officials on a security, risk. Why do I say this? Section 162, sub 5 of our Constitution, 1999, has also said that funds that are meant for local government are going to be paid into the local government state joint account. This is the devil that has killed the local government system, that has taken away the autonomy, the rights of the council chairman, and put them in the hands of the state, of their state governors. I want to ask you, as you've put this question to me, in the history of Nigeria since 1999, which local government area that has been controlled by the party that is in opposition in any state, apart from in Kaduna, that we had recently, that RFI had to do election, and you had those in opposition had to win at least 1 or 2 local government areas in the country. Apart from in 1999, when we used to have APP. I think in Akwa Ibom we had APP that was controlling Eastern Obodo. I still remember Efikero Effet. He was the party, he was representing, his party was APP. He wasn't in the PDP. And then even at that time, you had the council chairmen competing amongst themselves on how to develop their local government areas. You have the chairmen competing on projects, on what they would do. And they were independent. They could speak out. I recall the council chairman of Ikorabasi. I think Right Honorable Barrister where I can name, standing out to make policies that were not favorable to the state government of Obon Victor Atta. And these are the issues, because the chairmen are not supposed to be tied to the purse strings of the state governors. They are a tier of government of their own, established by the constitution that also established the function of the governors. But what we have today, by virtue of the section 162, the governors have catch in to stifle local government councils of funds. And so you now see where people who are not even prepared to be chairmen are nominated, and they suddenly become party candidate, and they become council chairman. And because they are because the way they came on board, made them to become loyal to the system. I remember before this outgoing chairman, the chairman before them used to have disagreement with the joint account in the state when the funds are being released, because you will see a local government system, a local government council that will be entitled to about 200 million released by the FAC. FAC simply means Federal Account Allocation Committee from Abuja. When it is released, it's published by the Ministry of Finance. You will know how much is going to which local government area. You will see a council that is entitled to 200 million, for instance. You will see, the council chairman will see it. He will know that this is what is coming to his council. But when it gets to the joint account in the state, the council chairman will be asked to be given 10 million or 20 million. Now, most of these chairmen were like, they put up some level of resistance to say no, they will not sign, because you have to sign to collect the money. They say no, they won't sign. So the ones who are a little bit stubborn to say that they won't sign, the government officials who are representing the governor in the committee will simply put their heads together and say, okay, let us give this man, add 2 million to him, add 3 to this one, because he is being stubborn, so that he will not lead a revolt that will cause a protest. That is what used to happen. And most of these chairmen who were putting up some level of soft resistance We are made to suffer for it by not allowing them to come back for a second term. They lost their party candidature. They could not make it to the second term, even when they performed in their own right. The outgoing chairman, I want to ask you, apart from the chairman of Uyo local government area, who has been commissioning projects, severally he has invited the CSOs, he has invited me and the press to go around. He has opened up the books, the financial books of the council. He has done budget, he presented his council budget, he invited the CSOs and the press to audit the activities of the council. I do not know any other chairman that is doing the same as the chairman of Uyo. I'm not here to blow his trumpet. I'm telling you that I know, since I'm trying to compare. If you would ask me, where are you from? I am from Akwa Ibom State here. Are you from a local government? The answer is yes. Which of them? Mbalenin. How is the chairman faring? Chairman is going to EFCC. My chairman is going to House of Assembly every now and then. What is happening? The councillors are at loggerheads with the chairman. Why? Over allegations of financial impropriety. Over allegations of maladministration and all the rest. The chairman of Mbalenin, for instance, this is not why I'm here. Since I'm trying to look at it, had eight months ago I was here to challenge the fact that the assembly refused to suspend or to look into the matter that was brought before them. And we even threatened to go to court to obtain power of mandamus against the assembly. And then the assembly had to, yield to the pressure, and the chairman was suspended for 8 months. The chairman just resumed office barely a month ago. Today, the chairman has been taken back again to the assembly by the councillors. The chairman had been taken back to the assembly. The chairman had been taken to the EFCC by the councillors. And they threatened to impeach him. And then the chairman took the councillors to court. This is the local government that I am from. That is the point. So when you ask me, how are the councils, fair? I can tell you as a fact that the 31 councils in Akwa Ibom are 31 poverty centers.
Well, not everybody will agree with you, because some persons will say, as far as they are concerned, their chairmen in their different local government areas have fared to the extent that they've done one or two things. However, that is not for us to argue or contend. What I'm saying in effect is, with regards to, because I know you way back, and occasionally you embark on what you call good governance tour.
Yes.
And you will go to
project tracking to check what they are doing.
To check what they are doing, and you go there and you come back and give us a feedback. And now their tenure is elapsing, just few days, not even weeks, before they will be taking a bow from office. I am more concerned about the impact they have made. And you have insisted from your analysis that it's nothing but a poverty alleviation center. Are you, by your analysis, now saying that even with their years in the office, they never made any impact, whether or not they got funds?
I think you misquoted my assertions. I never said poverty alleviation. I said they are poverty centers.
Okay, so go leave the allegation.
They never alleviate any poverty.
So they are poverty centers. You're putting the record straight now.
That's it. Poverty centers.
No impact whatsoever.
Grass has overtaken the local government council's offices. Termite and lizard are living in the chairman's office and secretary's office. Go and so they don't even have seat to sit. That is the point. When you are not well taken care of, you will be able to take care of those that you are supposed to lead. How many of the council chairmen know the village road, the names of their village heads? None. It's so sad. It's a crying shame that we have local government system that ought to cater for the grassroots people. But they are living in Uyo, they are living in Abuja and Lagos. Once there is fund, once the fund comes in, ma'am, they take the fund and take off. Because the state has made it such that the state government take over payment of salaries of workers, payment of pension and gratuities, payment of this, payment of health workers, whereas it is the function of the local government system.
If we go to what is it the fourth schedule
of the Constitution, yes.
Constitution, which specifies clearly, let us put that on the table now. Clearly, the functions of the local government
administration, yes.
Administration. Let us put that on the table and juxtapose that with what they have done while in office with Wickham.
Ike, the local government system by the fourth schedule of our constitution 1999 is supposed to grade roads.
So let's take it that roads have not been graded.
I have not seen any.
Okay, so
that's the one. They are supposed to build motor parks, renovate collapsed motor parks. I have not seen any.
You haven't seen any?
Any.
Okay.
They are supposed to build what is it called? Primary health care centers. They're supposed to be the ones to maintain those health centers. I have not seen any.
Okay.
They are supposed to collect revenue from market, motor parks, and stores.
And this one they're up and doing in that.
They're up and doing, but yet the funds are not being utilized. That is why my council chairman is being taken to EFCC, taken to up and down because of the funds. That is the truth about it. They are supposed to collect taxes with regards to bicycle, with regards to wheelbarrow, with regards to advert, that is the advertisement. But in the case of those local government councils that constitute metropolis, like we have in Uyo, Urwan, Ibesikpo, Urwan, Ibesikpo, Itu, Ibiono, that constitute the Uyo metropolis, the state government step in and start taking, revenue from adverts, which is the work of the local government system. I think we have to we challenge that. I think some of the chairmen are in court with the government over this matter. So you can see that the state government completely takes over the function of local government system, and then they make it look like the government at the local government level is an extension of the state. It's a branch of the state, which ought not to be, because by the constitution of our country, section 7 sub 1, is very clear. You don't have to make the chairman become your PA. So that when the governor is returning from Abuja, they will send text to the chairman to go and wait at airport to receive the governor. It's not done that way. I have not seen the president coming back from foreign trip, and then they will send text to governor to go and wait for the president at the airport. That is a clear, a clear power separation. That is why you have at the federal level, you have the office of the president, that is the executive. You have the legislature, you have the National Assembly. At the state level, you have the office of the governor, that is the executive, and you have the legislature, the House of Assembly. At the local government level, you have the council chairman and councillors, which constitute the legislature. So if the governor is not functioning effectively, it is supposed to be the assembly of the state that should call him to order. If the president is not functioning well, it is not the assembly of the state that should call the president to order. It is the National Assembly that should call the president to order. But in the case of the local government council system, if the chairman doesn't do well, it is now the state assembly that will now call the chairman to order, instead of the councillors that are there. So the law now makes them to become impotent. They are toothless bulldogs. You will hear the councillors saying they have impeached the chairman. But the law that the state government enacted simply makes it impossible for councillors to impeach an incompetent and a failure who is a chairman in the local government system. So they will now have to revert to assembly. And so when the chairman has a long leg to go behind to get it revised, the chairman will simply just upturn that.
Hold on, I'm going to get a bit technical now. I think your volume says that. Your hand hits that thing. Your hand hits this thing.
No, I turned this thing.
No, your hand hit it.
This one.
So, while you were gesticulating, your hand hit it, and so the thing just seized the volume. From this side. From this side.
Okay.
No, this one's better. So welcome back. had to get a bit technical there. Noticed that for a bit there, his volume ceased from his mic. I had to get it fixed and get it done. Twickham, so you were talking about...
I suspect village people.
Well, let the thoughts be where they are. Whether or not they like it, the truth must be spoken.
Exactly the fact.
Twickham, let's get straight to it. You were talking about the failure of the local government system using the constitution, the fourth schedule,
yes.
section 7, and then we were defining what their roles are supposed to be and how they're not performing those roles as enshrined in the constitution. I
had to explain that the drafters of our constitutions were very mindful of what they gave to us as constitution, and so they had to make it very clear that you have 3-tier system of administration of government. So you have the president, who is the head of the federal government of Nigeria, and the president has his team called the executive. And then at the federal level now, you have the National Assembly that is being headed by the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Reps, because we are operating a bicameral legislature. Now, at the state level, you have a governor who is the head of the executive, and then the governor has his team appointed that makes up the executive. And then at the legislative level, you have the Speaker of the House of Assembly that has, that is made up of, that is headed by the Speaker and the members of the Assembly. Now, at the local government level, similarly, you have the chairman of the local government, and then you also have the councillors that comprise the legislature. Now, if the president fails to carry out his duty in line with the constitution, it is not the duty of the House of Assembly in the state to go and impeach or call the president to order. It is the duty of the National Assembly to call the president to order. So you won't hear House of Assembly inviting the ministers to come and present their, to come and present their account, or to come and, be accountable to the people of the country. It is going to be either the House of Reps or the Senate carrying out those proofs and oversight functions over the president and the executive. Now, at the state level, it is the House of Assembly that calls the governor and the executive to order where they are doing what is not in line with the constitution and in line with the law. It is not the councillors that can call the commissioner to come and give account, or the governor to come and give account. But in the case of the local government system, as it were, where the chairman is erring, is operating ultra vires our constitution, our laws, the law that the state has made it that the councillors have become toothless bulldogs. They can only bark, but they cannot bite. So they will now have to, if they say they are calling the chairman to order, chairman will, run to the assembly and obtain a fiat to quash the impeachment that they want to do, or they want to suspend the chairman. And so the chairman that has a long leg can always stop impeachment, or can always stop his being suspended by the councillors. Because when it moves from the council level, the law says when the councillors, pass vote of no confidence on the chairman, they will have to send that notice to the assembly. Assembly will have to put up a committee to investigate what the councillors have said. And when that is done, they will now either affirm or reject. So this is where you have the hurdle that now the assembly and the governor take over the function of the council and make the council to become, the center of poverty in the country.
But whilst using the constitution, fourth schedule of it, to buttress your position that this local government chairman have not performed as expected from the constitution there, what about the issue of commissioning market stalls, centers, some of those big halls, what do you call it, like some of them will, refurbish a health center and fix it and whatnot. So in the case of projects like Motor Park, the market stalls that some of them have built, it's center where I'm looking for that kind of center. I'm looking for, because we on updates, what do you call it, Arise, they've been bringing chairman.
Primary health centers.
No, there's this
family
yes.
town hall meeting, town halls. Yeah,
there are halls that some of them have boasted that they fixed and all of that. So if you say you haven't seen what they've done. It's poverty center. This market stalls that they built, refurbishing of certain buildings and whatnot. Are those not part of their functions? Most of parks, some of them, they've said they fixed.
I didn't want to just, cut in because I need to allow you the benefit of saying what you wanted to say. You see, when someone says, I built town hall, of what economic impact? I don't understand. Compared to what is coming into the local government.
Do they get the funds?
That is the point. I have just told you that the governor of Akwa Ibom State has not allowed the funds to go to the council the way it ought to go. And I have told you that Section 162 has made it that you have a joint account. Local government said joint account. So when the funds are coming, they are first of all deposited, lodged in that account. I recall that in 2008, we led a team, made petitions, sent to Mr. President. Then it was President Buhari. He graciously approved the NFIU, a unit of the EFCC, to look into the finances of local government. And he even made a policy and order saying that the funds of councils must be paid to the council's account and that no bank must release the funds to the council more than 500,000 without a backup by the councillors giving, an approval. Put some level of checks. Within that space of time, Akwa Ibom State government, my friend then was the Attorney General Barrister Woko SAN, led the 31 local government council chairman through Algon to court to challenge that executive order by Mr. President on behalf of all Nigerians. Like, we have 774 local government council in the country. But the state government that took the president to court was Akwa Ibom State government. What was your interest? Now you have done that. I recall the Algon chairman and the PRO went on air to counter my argument that despite the fact that the president has no right to use the orders to amend our constitution, but that you are the chairman, you are already in the pit, and we needed to bring you out of this pit, and you are saying no, you prefer to be in that pit, that we want to bring you out. Yet the president has not used the proper instrument, which is to amend the constitution, to amend that section 165. But he has actually made executive order to alleviate the suffering of the local government councils caused by our advocacies. But the council chairman in Akwa said, went to court to oppose that they still want to remain under the air of the state government. Ike, as I speak to you now, even the assembly has even refused their own autonomy. As an assembly, turned down their own autonomy. I remember when it came up in a debate in the assembly, those who voted. And those who did not vote, when I asked them, they said why they could not vote for their own autonomy was because the government asked them not to vote. So you can see that our orientation about governance is completely different from the way it ought to be. So it's more of politics than governance.
Let's call it what it is. You cannot blame, as it were, the governor, so to speak, because if these persons that were supposed to be liberated so they can have full autonomy to control their own funds went and said, no, we don't want to be liberated, we are comfortable where we are, because I recall that argument, we're comfortable where we are, we don't want to be liberated, you cannot blame the governor.
Do you know why? You see, the system of their appointment, quote and unquote now, selection or election if you might call it,
I like the fact that you're the one saying
yes, the system has given it that makes it look like, the governor favors you and pick you to become chairman. That is the way it is. Because they have made it such that once you become the candidate of a party, you are automatically the council chairman. You can go to sleep. So you can have those who do not even intend, who do not even dream of being in the local government system as chairman. You just sleep one day and you wake up in the next morning, you are the council chairman. You have no focus. You have no idea of governance. And so you'll be woven around. Let me tell you, Ike, there's an office they will put you. You will be confused. When the office is bigger than you become so confused. When you see files, documents here, papers here, your hands will become swallowed, your hands will just big, and you become so confused. In fact, you can even go blind You are seeing what you will do, but you can't do it because you are confused. That is what you are seeing. Those who have been made to become chairman by virtue of the political party that they belong. So they don't even intend. They don't even have any manifesto, any idea. They just slept yesterday and wake up today. They are chairman. Okay. And automatically, because they are chairman, the way they became chairman, they become loyal to who made them the chairman.
Well, I really wish we could have a debate on this matter and have Algon, be on the table with.
They can never face me. Do you know why? They can never face me.
Because Algon may want to disagree with you on what you're saying.
They can never. I dare you to call a debate between me and any council chairman, even the Algon chairman. He's my friend. In Yebong Johnson is my friend, the chairman of Caretaker. You can never face me on a debate. Let me even tell you, chairman of Algon is very, very critical. It's like me, he's an activist in government. He knows that what I'm saying is the fact. But he won't say it. You know why? Because he is in the system. But tell you that once he leaves office, you will hear him speak. I tell Inebong Johnson Inebong Robson is a critic like me. So what I'm saying here, most of them, they say it behind. They won't say it out because they are still in the system.
So let's call it what it is then. It's a case of when you are on the table, you must observe
table manners. But the truth is, it has gone beyond that. They have made it such that beyond table manners, they made it look like, you are just being favored. Out of over 1 million people, 1 million youth that applied for this, that contested, the governor just pick you and they pick you chairman.
Then let's call it what it is.
It's a failed system.
Good.
That is what it is.
Okay, so
we have 31 local government council that is called 31 poverty centers in Akwa Ibom. Otherwise, you will not have hunger in Akwa Ibom as of today. You are still speaking English. By 25th of December, Christmas is postponed because there is no food to eat. Last year Christmas, I was here and I read out the cost of commodity, cost of price, and hunger we have in the state. You are speaking grammar here. Go to the beach and see what is happening there. People are feeding from refuse dump.
Is it
let us call it the way it is.
Is it the duty of the local government chairman to feed his people?
You see, when the chairmen are allowed their finances to operate, I have given you instances here. I said in 1999, we had council chairmen who stood up to oppose, government policies that are considered anti-people's policies. And you had council chairmen that were able to build infrastructures on ground. I recall the chairman of Mbo, then Victor Antai. He built a very big hall, built a very big offices, took us around what he has done. I recall the chairman of Esemudim, I think, Dwayne, did so much, took us around and showed us what he has done. Chairman of Bainin, Ekotantin, did so well, took us around, showed us what he has done. Chairman, I can name them. So now, under the government of Umoino, what can you say? You know why I'm calling his name? Because the government is a continuum. You are inheriting the asset and liability of your administration, either past or present. Don't tell me that he came in 6 months ago. No. I don't want that argument. He is the governor. He must take the blames.
But of course, the truth is, as much as you want to ascribe the blame to the governor, we must point where the bulk of the blame should go, which is the Constitution. And the Constitution in itself has inhibited local government autonomy. So until we have reforms in our Constitution to guarantee local government autonomy, you cannot outrightly come and blame governors who are playing the script. Because by default...
You are playing... You are trying to play... Wait. Let me help you. Let me help you by putting it the way it is. When was it made? When was our Constitution made? When was it made?
Well, I think the Constitution we're operating with, is it not the one given to us from 1999?
That's it. And I've told you here that 1999 till 2011, we had council chairmen. We still had council chairmen who were performing. I've mentioned Antai was chairman when? What is his name? Was chairman when? I'm giving you that. You are trying to tell me as if it's just now that you are making the law. The law has been there. We had Barrister Wei Kanem, who was chairman of Ikorabasi. We had Efikere Effect. We have Akwarawa Dr. Umota in Barenin. I can name a handful of them. And they perform very well. So don't tell me that because you have a law that has said that the funds must be lodged into Jota, that is why the council is not performing. No! It is the governors who have decided to witch hunt the council's fund and are stifling the councils. We must call it the way it is. You know why I'm starting this way? Because if you leave Uyo and leave this your comfort zone and go to the right area, you see that there is hunger. My agent mob won't come to Uyo to meet the governor, but he can have access to the council chairman. Do you have a good medical system there? No way. I send drugs to my mom almost on 2 times a month because of her health conditions. Do you know why? Because we don't have a functional health system in my council.
So is it the job of the local government to provide that? Because
there is no fund. I have told you that, okay, the chairman of Uyo, I think yesterday also commissioned a health center. Why did he do it? It is his function to build health centers. I have just told you that their function includes to build health centers.
So where is the chairman of Uyo getting his own money?
That is the question. It is because the chairman of Uyo is a metropolis, and the chairman is also managing his funds. Whatever comes to him, friends, also put funds. And don't forget that what they have as internally generated revenue is huge compared to what you have elsewhere. And more so, the chairman of Uyo lives in Uyo because Uyo is where other chairmen come to spend the funds that they have. Whereas my chairman doesn't stay in my council area. You know why? You know why? 2 reasons. Let me give him an excuse. 1, he's afraid. If he stays in the council areas, what will he use to justify his being there as chairman? He could be lynched. Number 2, hungers. People come every day to see you. I'm hungry. I'm this. There's no job. And you must take care of them. So to avoid all this, turbulence and all this, crisis, the chairman will have to excuse themselves. Once they get the fund, they go back to the council and stay 1 or 2 days. After they come back to you and stay. Or go and stay in Lagos or Abuja. So the governor should not just make a policy to say chairman should go and live in their councils. No. Let the funds be released to them.
This conversation is not conversations we can have in a hurry, because I've got 1,000 questions to ask. And I
am here to answer all.
I'm not going to ask you because you're not a local government chairman. And that is why I would have preferred if we had perhaps the chairman of Algon or any local government chairman who has a contrary view to what you have said to a place. Come to Passion FM. Let's have that debate. In the meantime, I'm going to say you have won this one. Let me give it to you.
I will always win.
No, you will.
Because I say it the way it is.
Yeah, but you have said
when you open your call, for like you will see people calling in to tell you what they feel about the local government system. It has failed.
So we'll give you victory for the moment. So enjoy it.
Don't give me temporary victory. I'm telling you the way it is.
Okay, you've told me what you think it is, and I want to make a case for those local government chairman. If any one of them will be bold enough
to call in,
not to call
they can even call in.
No, not to call in. I don't want a temporary. I want a real conversation.
They will not.
I'm doing a competition.
I throw this debate open. I am also throwing it open.
Let the chairman
to any chairman
of Passion FM. Let's have that roundtable conversation.
I am throwing this open. I am throwing this open to all the chairmen. Anyone can take me on anywhere, even up to Channels TV. Anywhere we'll go and debate it.
No problem. The invitation is open to them. I hope they will embrace it.
They will all the way. They will come.
Tell us what you are doing and let's justify it.
These people will not come.
Okay, so leave it then and let's pretend they will not come. But I pray they do.
They will not come.
I pray they do.
I have lived around. I know.
One of them or two will have balls enough to do that.
If I had been here to say they have done well, they would have come. I can tell you the truth. If I had been here to speak, to sing for them that they have done well, they would have come. To say, yeah, you see, we are doing, government is trying, we are doing well. But because I am giving you the obvious fact that they are all failures, apart from only one that I know has performed, and that is the chairman of Uyo, the rest are all failures. And we are having 31 council that are 31 poverty center in Akwa Ibom state. Quote me anywhere, I will defend it.
I really wish somebody can get angry and just come to Passion FM and say, Passion FM, I want to buy 2 hours and challenge that man that is calling us a failure.
Even if it is 5 hours, I am ready to prevent my facts. I have my facts.
I really wish the government can do it. It's an open challenge to you. It will be shameful if this local government chairman sit down and in docility allow you to throw all these insults at them and none of them come to defend themselves. It will be shameful.
You know why? Franklin the Song is a journalist and also an advocate who have gone round. I can mention the local government that and what they are doing. So when they bring them here, what would they be saying? I have given an excuse that it is not wholly their fault. Partly I share their blames with the governor for withholding their funds. But I also say that we used to have This same law has been there before now.
But
so why?
Before we go for commercials, I'm not trying to play the devil's advocate or trying to advocate for nobody. I still maintain that you cannot pull the blame on the governor outrightly without pointing to the Constitution, where by default we have an issue, especially with the issue of autonomy. I know you have so much to say, but in the meantime, let's pay commercials.
Don't worry.
So you can drink water.
Go and pay your commercial.
We'll be right back.